It's time to make some money on UFC Abu Dhabi. In this video, I'm going to give you 3 of my best bets. I got a money line bet for you. I got a round prop bet. And I got a nice, big, juicy prop bet for you as well. In addition, I'm going to show you every single one of my DFS plays that I have on this Saturday's card. If you're familiar with the channel, you know you always want to tail those. And lastly, I'll let you know where you can get every single one of my bets on UFC Abu Dhabi completely free. But before we get into the bets, we got to recap how last week went. Jimmy Crute, inside the distance, got it done. Round 1. We also hit some nice parlays I threw into to the free Telegram. If you're in there, we hit like 2 big parlays. It was awesome. But the round prop bet was a loss. I don't know if Max was taking it easy on Dustin Poirier or not, but I thought he could have finished him. He knocked him down twice within the first 2 rounds. Poirier also knocked down Max Holloway, so we get 3 knockdowns at a plus 115 for the fight to not go the distance. I'm not too upset about it. In hindsight, probably should have been a 1-unit play. But either way, I thought there was going to be a lot more violence for a BMF title fight. Both guys showed to be tough. Max might have held back a little bit. Arguable that he didn't. But we move on to the prop bet. Kevin Holland has him dead in round 3. Did not look good for the first 2 rounds. Has him dead. Nearly knocks him out. Knocks him down. I don't know what he was doing with those knees, but he could have easily just punched him in the face. Probably would have got him out of there. Then he gets him to the ground, has him in the choke, and apparently D-Rod was oiled up. I think it was probably just sweat because they were sweating it out. And we were sweating it out as well, but we lose to Kevin Holland inside the distance. So right when I was boasting about our 4-week winning streak on the Best Bets show, we take a loss. We take a loss, minus 2.25 units on the 3 bets that I gave you last week for UFC 318. So we're down minus 4.51 units on the 3 best bets that I give you every single week. Unfortunate, but the DFS plays did cash in nicely. Look at the DFS recap. We were positive 2 units on DFS. We went 6-2 on our picks. Unfortunately, Kopylov couldn't get anything going to land significant strikes in a fight that went the distance. And Daniel Rodriguez showed up and showed out and did not get finished in the first 2 rounds like I expected him to. So 2 units on DFS. I got the DFS plays for you in the video as well. We've been absolutely cooking. Hopefully we continue that. Let's get into the bet. This week, the money line bet number 1 is going to be none other than Jose Ochoa. The Peruvian Charles do Bronx. You're giving to me minus 102 on Ochoa. I think I got to take it, man. I got to take it. I'm putting 1 unit on it. I'm not going too crazy because we are going against a V in Abu Dhabi. So I'm just throwing 1 unit on Jose Ochoa. Money line, I believe he's the better fighter, man. It might be too soon for him. That's also why I have a little bit of hesitancy. But I believe in this kid, man. I believe in this kid. He's 24 years of age. He's huge for the weight class. He's very physical, has a ton of volume, super dangerous, all wins by finish. And on the other side, Asuel Mabayev, he's a great wrestler, has great takedowns, good control, but I just don't know that he does anything else other than that. You know, outside of the takedowns and the control time and the chain wrestling, not a good striker. I don't think he's that dangerous with the submissions. You know, he's facing guys like a CJ Vergara, a Jose Johnson, O'Day Osborne. I don't rate those guys at all. And the fact that he couldn't submit Jose Johnson, who's been submitted like 5 or 6 times in his career, tells me that his jiu-jitsu probably ain't really that great. So I think if he gets the takedowns, Ochoa is going to be able to still maybe even steal rounds with some damage. Now, obviously, we got to go up against the judges in Abu Dhabi. It is what it is, but there's also the finishing upside for Ochoa as well. Very dangerous on the feet. He's going to have knees up the middle. He's going to have big uppercuts. He's going to have big kicks as well. He's got to watch those kicks to make sure they don't get caught. But I think he comes in here on short notice and he beats Asuel Mabayev. This guy is really good. I really believe in him. So I'm throwing a unit on Jose Ochoa on the money line at minus 102. I was debating, waiting a little bit, but minus 102, I'll take it, man. It's damn near even money. It's a slight dog price for Jose Ochoa. Maybe, on fight day, Almabayev might catch some steam. He might get him at plus money. but minus 102 was good enough for me. Maybe I'll add to it. We'll see. But there's your money line bet for the week, Jose Ochoa money line. Now let's get into the Underdog Fantasy Plays. We're almost at 100 units of profit since the beginning of 2024 on 2 pick entries alone, not even including this 18x payout, the 20x payout, which we have hit many times since the beginning of 2024. So if you're in one of these highlighted states, you're going to want to download the Underdog Fantasy app if you have not already. Use code HeyJow, get that deposit bonus up to $1,000. Or if you're watching on a TV or a monitor or an iPad or whatever, whip out your phone, scan the QR code, and you can download it there real quickly. Let's take a look at the plays. There's a link down in the description below if I didn't say that already. But if you're watching on your phone, you click the link and download Underdog Fantasy right there. Here's the 5-legger this week. We got Davey Grant higher than 60.5. I believe he's hit this in all 6 of his last 6 fights. Very high volume striker. I don't really think Blackshear's going to submit him. I think the fight probably goes to decision. Now, obviously, if Blackshear submits him, then probably not going to happen. But I just don't really see it happening. I think Davey Grant going to be able to land a lot at range. He's a workhorse, man. He landed 147 in his last fight against Ramon Tavares. But I think Damon Blackshear is hittable as well. When he's facing a level of competition that I think is decent, he's not going out there submitting these guys. He's submitting Jose Johnson. He's TKO and Luan Lacerda. He caught Cody Stamann with the knee up the middle. I just don't see that happening with Davey Grant. He's a guy that likes to keep his range, stay to the outside, kick away, land big shots, get out, and that's what he does best. So I think he does what he does best here. Does it get him the win? Maybe, maybe not. But either way, I think it probably goes to decision, and I think if it does go to decision, we see higher than 60.5 for Davey Grant right there because he's done it over the last 6 fights. Stephen Nguyen, higher than 50.5. He's a very high-volume striker, lands over 7 significant strikes per minute, and it's going to be up to Muhammad Yahya if he can survive, the first round and a half, maybe 2 rounds for Stephen Nguyen to get this or this higher than 50.5, but I think he probably does, man. I don't really think Stephen Nguyen has crazy power on the feet. I don't think he's going to just put it on. I don't think he's just going to unload on Muhammad Yahya early. He's more of a volume guy, kind of break you down as the fight goes on or kind of steal it, as the fight goes on. I mean, he's a very high volume guy. He doesn't have big power. That's why he has to throw all this out there. There could be some grappling in this fight, but I just don't really see it. I don't see Stephen Nguyen looking to level change on Yahya. Yahya's not a guy that's looking to level change. So I think it's mostly a stand-up kickboxing battle. And I think Stephen Nguyen's going to be able to land a lot on Muhammad Yahya, who absorbs nearly 5 significant strikes per minute. So Stephen Nguyen, higher than 50.5 there. Tabitha Ricci, lower than 64.5. She got those T-Rex arms, all right? So she's not going to be able to land a lot of significant strikes, I believe, on Amanda Ribas. And if you look at Amanda Ribas in the strawweight division, she's had 7 fights in the UFC in the strawweight division. All 7 of her opponents have gone lower than 64.5. I think the highest was Verna Jandiroba at like 50. So, I mean, I don't see Tabitha Ricci going in there, landing, 25 significant strikes per minute. I think there could be some grappling here. Both girls like to mix in their grappling as well. I believe both girls land like 2 takedowns per 15 minutes. And I think Tabitha Ricci's probably going to have to go to that because Amanda Ribas, girl that likes to stay at range, throw a lot of feints at you. And I think Ricci's going to have to get in on the inside, probably look to cage push, probably look to get the fight to the ground. I don't think she's just going to be at range, going tit for tat with Amanda Ribas. So I like the lower there for Tabitha Ricci. Said Nurmagomedov, lower than 38.5. Bryce Mitchell's opponents over his last 10 fights, I believe, have gone lower than this number in 9 of his last 10. And the only guy to go higher was Ilia Topuria. I don't think Said is he's not a high volume striker by any means. He's more of a one shot, one kick, get out. One punch, get out. Spinning back fist, get out. And then I think there's a lot of upside for some wrestling here. I think there's going to be a lot of grappling. I mean, if you're Bryce Mitchell, you're probably going to want to grapple this guy. You're probably going to want to impose your will. And when I got a striker that's low volume going up against a grappler, I think that's a perfect recipe to take a lower. So I like the lower, the 38.5 for Said Nurmagomedov. And then Robert Whittaker, lower than 65.5. He's going up against Reinier de Ridder. We know what Reinier de Ridder wants to do. He wants to get Robert Whittaker to the ground. And I think he probably could have some success doing that. But if he doesn't, then he's going to be on the feet. And Whittaker doesn't absorb that many significant strikes. And he could definitely knock out Reinier de Ridder. Reinier de Ridder could also finish him early. So I think there's upside for early finish here. Whittaker's at a reach disadvantage. I don't think he's going to want to stay in the pocket with RDR. I think he's going to want to stay to the outside and pick his shots nicely. But if he does get into the pocket, then they're going to be in the clinch. I think that's Reinier de Ridder's world. So I like lower than 65.5 for Robert Whittaker there. There's your 5-legger. 5 picks correct, wins 20x. The 2-leggers here, we got Davey Grant, Stephen Nguyen, both higher. And then we got Asu Amabayev lower than 32.5. He's hit this in almost every single fight that he's had in the UFC, except for his last one against Manel Kape, which Manel Kape is a guy that is mainly a counter striker, so he's going to wait for you to throw, and then he's going to throw. Jose Ochoa ain't that dude. He's going to throw at you, and I think Almabayev, who's very low volume on the feet, is going to be just looking to level change. I don't think he's going to be looking to strike with Ochoa, so I think he's probably going to be looking to grapple, not to strike. And we've seen Almabayev go to decision a couple times in the UFC. I think 3 against Vergara, against not Ode Osborne, against Vergara, against Jose Johnson, and Mateus Nicolau. He went lower than 32.5 in all 3 of those fights that went to a decision. So just because it goes to a decision doesn't mean he's going higher. So I like the lower there for Almabayev. Marcus McGee, higher than 68.5. He's a high-volume striker, man. He lands 6 significant strikes per minute. He's going up against Piotr Jan. I think Jan is a guy that is going to throw that high guard up there, try to be defensively sound, but he's going to eat a lot of shots. And Jan's not that hard to hit, man. He absorbs over 4 significant strikes per minute. I think this fight probably goes to decision. I think McGee can get 30, 35 in the first round, 30, 25 in the second round, and then we're pretty much smooth sailing from there into the third. So I like higher than Marcus McGee there as well. 2-pick entry there wins 3x. Make sure you're playing the 2-pick entries because that's how we make our money consistently. We can't hit the 20x or the 100x every single week. There's the Underdog Fantasy plays this week. Once again, if you're in one of these highlighted states, download the Underdog app, scan this QR code, or hit the link down in the description below. Lock these plays in, and we'll make some coin. And if you want to get in on some other apps as well, Sleeper Picks. I don't have a play this week for Sleeper because they were a little slow getting their lines out. But if you're in one of these light purple states, you can download Sleeper, get your deposit bonus up to $100. I got a Whittaker special right there. I don't know if I would play it because it seems a little trappy. I like the lower on Whittaker, so be cautious with that. But it's another place that you got to shop the best lines as well as Chalkboard. So if you're in one of these green states, link down in the description below for Sleeper Picks and Chalkboard to get in on some more apps and shop the best lines. We'll get into the round prop bet. We're taking the under 2.5 in the main event. Okay. I got burned on the fight to not go the distance last week in the main event, but this one I got one pure finisher. We got one pure finisher, man. Reinier de Ridder is a guy that goes in there, DDP style, looking for the finish at all times. If he gets Whittaker to the ground, this dude's got high-level BJJ. I think he could definitely submit Robert Whittaker down on the ground. But if he's left on the feet, as I said in the breakdown for Whittaker, lower on significant strikes, I think Whittaker could probably knock this dude out. He had Gerald Mearshart in there looking like Ilya Taporia landing these shots. So I think Whittaker could probably put him out. It's a much higher level striker than Reinier de Ridder has faced. That's just what it comes down to. And I think the best play here on the main event is the under 2.5 at even money. Even money, I'm putting 1 unit on it. I'm hoping Reinier de Ridder does pull off the submission because I took him for the pick, and I would love to see some new faces in the middleweight division. But, I got to respect Robert Whittaker's striking as well. Reinier de Ridder is fighting Bo Nickel, not a striker. Kevin Holland, decent striker, but took him down right away. And then Gerald Mearshart, not a great striker, but made him look like a great striker, more of a grappler, and still submitted him. So upside for finishing on both sides. I think both guys could be finished as well. That's why I like the under 2.5. Even money, 1 unit. There's your round prop bet for the week. If you want all the bets this week, want a nice little streak, so we're positive 43.13 units so far in 2025. We're up over 100 units last year in 2024, so we're slowly climbing our way back to that 100 unit mark. If you want all the bets this week, just use code Abu Dhabi when you sign up for the Home of Fight Picks Winnable. There's a link down in the description below. When you sign up to the Winnable, once you use that code, it'll be $0, and then after 7 days, you'll get charged. And next week, when the lines drop for DFS, you'll get all the plays early, so you don't have to watch this video and go to the app and be like, these lines are different. Oh, what do I do? What do I do? That's why you join the Home of Fight Picks Winnable, okay? Because when I drop them, when I drop the plays, usually on Monday, Sunday sometimes. I send them out to you. You get a text. You look at your phone. You get the text. You see the plays. You can lock them in there, and you'll get the lines relatively close. Sometimes they move them real quick, but at least you'll get within 1 or 2 significant strikes of what I got. So you want all the plays? Jump into the Home of 5 Picks Winnable. Use code Abu Dhabi. Get you a 7-day free trial. That's where you're going to get all my bets every single week, and you're going to get the DFS plays early as well as the regular bets early as well, texted to your phone. We'll get into the prop bet. I'm not overthinking it, man. I'm not overthinking this fight, all right? If you're going to give me Nurmagomedov by submission at plus 410, I got a sprinkle on it, okay? Bryce Mitchell, been submitted twice in the UFC. Last time out against John Silva, mainly a kickboxer. What does he do? Gets ninja choked. Who has some of the best ninja chokes in the entire UFC? Said Nurmagomedov. What does Bryce Mitchell like to do? He likes to wrestle. Is Bryce Mitchell the brightest guy out there? I would probably say not. So just to think that Bryce Mitchell is going to be smart enough to avoid the ninja choke from Said Nurmagomedov, I'm not exactly giving him that, okay? I'm not giving that to Bryce Mitchell because, number one, against John Silva in round 1, he shot a takedown, got put in a pretty deep guillotine, got out of it. But then he shoots again, and he gets put in another ninja choke. And then in round 2, he shoots again, and he gets put in another ninja choke. So it's clear to me that this guy, his for one, his takedowns are outside single legs, double legs, and if he's got you up against the cage, he's going to leave his neck out there. And if you're going up for takedowns against Said Nurmagomedov and you're leaving your neck out there, he's going to snatch it up. So you're giving me plus 410 on Said Nurmagomedov, one of the best front choke guys in the game, against a guy that's going to wrestle him, that just got ninja choked his last fight. I don't care if I lose it. Plus 410 is good enough for me. All right? Quarter unit on Said Nurmagomedov sub. I don't believe Bryce Mitchell is just too smart to avoid a ninja choke because he literally got out of it twice against John Silva and then put himself right back into it in the same fight. So going into this one, down a weight class as well, I don't know. I don't really see why Nurmagomedov subs should be plus 410. I think there's value on it. Quarter unit, there's your prop bet for the week. Nice and juicy. We'll get into the Betr Picks plays. If you're in one of these purple states, you're going to want to download Betr Picks if you haven't already. We've been real close to hitting that 100x since we've hit it on UFC 314 earlier this year. UFC Nashville, we were 7-1, missed by 1. UFC 318, 6-2, we missed by 2. Actually, I think we missed by 1. No, we missed by 2. And then UFC Baku, we missed by 1 as well. So maybe this is the week. Hopefully, if you're in one of these purple states, download Betr Picks, use code HAJOW, get that deposit bonus of $250. Lock these plays in. It's looking a little bit different because I think they had an app update, so I don't really like it, but maybe I'll get used to it. Usually you would have the 100x payout right there, but it still says it right there. Stephen Wynn, higher than 50.5. Nurmagomedov, lower than 40.5. Ricci, lower. Whittaker, lower. Davy Grant, higher. Martin Buday, lower than 40.5. He's probably going to get taken down. Likely going to get finished within the first 2 rounds against Marcus Buchecha, I believe. But I like the lower for Martin Buday there. Aso Mabayev, lower as well. We talked about him earlier. Marcus McGee, higher than 70.5. 8 picks, all correct. Let's not go 7-1 this week. Let's go 8-0. 100x payout, $100 wins $10K. Let's smack it. 2-pick entry here. We got Buday lower and Said Nurmagomedov lower for a 3x payout. And then we got Whittaker and Tabitha Ricci both lower for a 3x payout as well. Make sure you're playing the 2-pick entries. As I always say, this 100x payout is just a little extra sauce just in case we sweep and then we smack them for big payouts. Link down in the description below. Sign up for Betr Picks. Use code HAJOW. Get that deposit bonus up to $250. If you're in one of those purple states, lock them in. We'll make some coin. And last week's giveaway winner, if you stuck around to the end of the video, I said, just comment on the video, and I'll give you a Professor Parlay tee. No questions asked. Shipped to you, any size. This week's winner, or last week's winner, I should say. Cameron 13, 3922. Cameron 13, 3922. Please reach out to me on Instagram via DM. Send me a message saying, hey, I won the Professor Parlay giveaway on YouTube. How can I collect? Because the week before winner, haven't heard anything from him. I've tried to reach out to him, couldn't get to him. Hopefully we can still make that happen. But Cameron 133932, either comment on this video again so I can try to DM you there, or just DM me on Instagram saying that you won the Professor Parlay shirt video or giveaway, and then I'll get you a shirt. But if you want to enter this week, just comment on the video, and you'll get entered to win a Professor Parlay shirt. Or you can go to ProfessorParlayShop.com and cop yourself a tee. All sizes, high-quality tee, limited quantity. And I'll ship it to you. I'll ship it to you, baby. For free. For free. Appreciate you for watching. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Hopefully we make some coin. I believe we will. Abu Dhabi, going to be a good card. Early start time. Don't forget, if you're looking to lock some bets in, lock them in early, because Saturday morning might be too late. Appreciate y'all. Till next time. Hey, Jab Picks.